Week 4. What a wild week the NFL was last week. A lot of upset wins, a lot of just weird games. But this week is the end of the first quarter of the NFL. And I'm more than excited about it. You know, everything has happened this week. We have the Dolphins 3-0, the Eagles 3-0. So much exciting stuff has happened in this year in the NFL. You know, you have so much unpredictability this year. I would love to let you guys know that this series is getting a brand new name. We are changing it from my NFL Week blank picks to my six-pack picks. And it might still have the NFL name in the title, just to let you know what week it is. But we're changing it from 5 games to 6 games. And I am changing the format of this video. So this week I do have the scores from my co-host, so I will put them on the screen when I'm listing mine. And I'm also going to be doing a Madden simulation. So it might be down in the corner, not exactly sure where in the corner. But while I'm giving my predictions this week, the Madden game will be going on. I'm going to sim through it and we're going to find out who wins at the end. So there might be a little bit of a, cutting here and there. So we're just basically going to see what Madden predicts versus me. And this is not my original idea. I've seen it before on YouTube. Not exactly sure where I've seen it. So if I can find out who did it, I'd love to give them credit. But I like their idea, so I'm going to use it as well. I'm just excited to hop into this week. Prayers for the people down in Tampa Bay and the Florida area for the hurricane and everything like that. Hopefully the game will be scheduled as normal. If it is not, maybe I'll be going to the game in Minneapolis, so I'm excited for that. You know what? I'm ready to just hop into week 4 predictions, so let's get started. All right, so I don't know if these are going to be in order because I was given to these by a fan. So you know what? I'm just going to go down the list of the 6, and then we're going to go from there. So the first game that I have on my sheet is the Bears at the Giants. I think it's the Bears at the Giants. If it is not, I will correct it on the screen. But the Bears at the Giants, and I think the Bears are going to win a very low-scoring game. Their offense is very mediocre. The Giants are very mediocre too. They got an all right defense. The offense is still figuring it out. I bet there's going to be a lot of rushing yards in this game, but I think the Bears win 20-14. I think they got a very solid defense, a very good run game, and you know what? I like the way Justin Fields is trending. Don't love it, but I like it. So you know what? They're minimalizing it, helping him ease into the game and stuff like that. So this could be one of the games where he actually goes off, but I don't see that happening. I see it being a lower scoring game, mostly a rushing attack. Our second game of the week is the Browns at the Falcons. I think I'm going to take the upset here, and I'm going to choose the Falcons as the team that wins this week, as they win 28-20. I think the Browns are coming off a long week after just beating a division rival in Pittsburgh. The game was close until the end, and then they kind of, pulled away. The Falcons are all right. They came back against the Rams. That is mainly because the Rams didn't really play well, but they did play well against the Saints in the first game. And yes, the Saints are not doing as well as, what I thought they would at this point in the season. I thought they would win their division. They have not, and they're not looking like they're going to be trending that way. But I think the Falcons are better than what we give them credit for. And I still think that they have a very terrible roster, but I do think that they win this game against Cleveland. I think they win it 28-20, and I think it's going to be a good game. Jacoby Brissett, has been really good, but I think this is a game where he kind of falters and stuff like that. So he's good for a good game, and then he's also good for a bad game. I do think Nick Chubb is a pick'em for a fantasy this week, though. I do think he'll do really well, as well as Cordell Patterson. That is something to look forward to with this game. Our next game of the week is a game that I feel so passionate about, a game that I feel the Jaguars actually are maybe the first time I've picked them on this show. The Jaguars are going to beat the Philadelphia Eagles this week. Why do I think that they're going to beat the Philadelphia Eagles? Because I think the Jaguars have a really solid run defense, and that's what Philly is really good at. I think their overall defense is really good. I think Trevor Lawrence is becoming the star that he was drafted to be. I love Doug Peterson. I think he got fired in Philly, and yes, are they doing well right now? They are. They are doing well, but I do think that Doug Peterson got fired prematurely and after a rough season with Carson Wentz. So I believe in his coaching. I believe in Trevor Lawrence, and I think they get the W here. I think they win 31-24. Very close ball game. You got to remember, this is also Doug Peterson's revenge game against Philadelphia. So I expect Philadelphia to lose this game. I don't think Nick Sirianni is as good of a coach as Doug Peterson, and I think Trevor Lawrence is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. Maybe not in a functional organization like Jalen Hurts is, and he definitely does not have the weaponry that Jalen Hurts has, but I think Trevor Lawrence will end up being a long-term better quarterback than Jalen Hurts, and I have the Jaguars winning. All right, this next game might be one of the worst games of the weekend, but I still think it could be somewhat entertaining. The Broncos offense has only scored 16 points twice and 11 points once. So their offense is struggling right now. And how much do I have them scoring in this game? 16. And their defense is really good. Don't get me wrong. They have a really solid defense. So that is what could keep them in this game. But as for the Broncos offense, I feel like it's going to hold them back. Their coaching hasn't been great. And they're playing the Raiders. I think Derek Carr is due for a great game. You know what? The Raiders haven't sucked. If you want to put it this way, the Raiders haven't been terrible. They lost to the Chargers 24-19. They lost to the Cardinals 29-23. They lost to the Titans 24-22. Yes, the Titans was probably their worst loss because it was more of a comeback type of winning situation, but I still think, the Raiders are a decent team, and I still think they'll be better. So this is a game that I see them winning, and I actually see that they kind of smoke the Broncos, not by a blowout sense, but I definitely think the score won't indicate how badly they beat the Broncos. I think the Raiders win 26-16. Derek Carr will have an excellent game, maybe throw a pick, but I feel like this is the game that they get back on track, knock Denver down again, and then there's questions about, is Nathaniel Hackett a coach that should be coaching of the Denver Broncos? Is Russell Wilson struggling and stuff like that? I feel like that's going to be conversations coming from this game. And you know what? I think we're actually going to see the Raiders defense. I know they were good last year. They added some good pieces in the offseason. This is where I think they shine. I think they shine against this Denver Broncos team. All right, out of all my picks this week, this is probably my least confident pick score-wise. I think the winner of this game will be the Rams. But let me go on to say why I don't think the score is going to match what I have. The Rams have been kind of iffy all year. They've scored 10 points, 20 points, 31 points. All right, so they're averaging probably about 20 points a game. Very below average for the Rams team with all the weaponry they have, all the coaching staff that they have, their quarterback. However, their defense is still elite, and I think their offense turns it around this game, even though San Francisco has a really solid defense. So I do think the Rams win. I think they win 34-20. This is the game, though, that I really think could be my worst pick of the week. But we'll wait and see, because I do also think that maybe it could be my best pick of the week. Who knows? I'm leaning towards it probably being my worst pick of the week. Now, we're going to move on to the last and final game of the week. Game 6. This is my least favorite pick of the week. Not my score. This is the pick that I feel least confident in. The Bills at the Ravens. I feel like this game is going to be close. All right. I feel like this game is going to come down to the wire. I feel like this game is going to be one of those games where Buffalo just doesn't pull out right away, and they have to fight and keep fighting in this game, and they don't do a very good job at it. They're not a very good close game team. They have a great knockout punch. They have a great lead, and once they get a huge lead, they can pull away and keep you down because they have a certain style of offense and defense that they play when they have a huge lead, and they can do that. This game is not going to do that. Lamar Jackson has 12 total touchdowns this year. That is more than 30 other franchises in the NFL. He's tied with the Lions, which, yes, I know is very surprising. The Lions have 12 total touchdowns, only behind the Ravens with 13. And I just think this game is going to be too close for the Bills to really come out on top. I think Josh Allen is still going to have a good game. I think this game could be probably the best game of the weekend, if not for the Tampa Bay Chiefs game. However, with the Tampa Bay game, they're missing a lot of key offensive players, and they're a very defensive team right now. So I feel like that game might get a little on the boring side if the Chiefs don't either pull away or if it's just a defensive slugfest. This one I see as most offense. So I think this game will be 32-27 in favor of the Ravens. This may put Lamar Jackson ahead of Josh Allen on the MVP race. You know what? Right now he is deserving of it. Lamar Jackson has balled out. He is probably I don't want to say too reliant by his team, but his team relies heavily on him to score and win the ball game. So I have the Ravens winning. That is probably the pick that I feel the least confident in. I feel like this could go either way. If it's going to be a close game, the Ravens are going to win. If it's a blowout, the Bills are going to win. That is my week 4 NFL picks. So again, we're calling it the 6-pack picks. And I kind of like that name because Jameson is a whiskey and 6-pack picks is, you know, you're relating to the NFL and stuff like that. YouTube, don't copyright me, don't ban me, you know what, this content isn't made for children. I don't swear, but you know what, there are things that are said that maybe children shouldn't hear. I just want to put that out there. But with that all being said, please touch that like button, it helps out the channel a lot. Subscribe if you're new around here, and comment down below who you think's gonna win this week, and you know what you think about this video format, what you'd like to see different and stuff like that. I really like your support and everything. Again, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.